Hello everyone. Um, I've just made Shuxin Pinchagu. This is translated from Chinese as calm down the heart, regulate blood pressure, way of inner work. Um, this is the part of the Daoyin Heart system developed by Professor Chan Guanda, and this form takes special place in my heart. This is tricky because a heart set, Daoyin heart set, takes place in my heart. Yeah. So this is the very first form. Uh, it's one of the first forms I've learned with my teacher, like around 20 years ago or something. Um, and I've underestimated this form for a long time in my life. I was more focused on developing Dantian strength, skills, etc., etc., etc. But if the Dantian is the answer to question how to do whatever, then the heart is the uh, question is the answer to the question why. Why to do this or that? So um, I've been emphasizing heart and way of heart in regards to walking Qigong that we've been doing uh, this recent days, like weeks, maybe. I was doing watching, maybe. So within the walking Qigong, um, we emphasize the fact to calm down the heart, but it happens naturally because mostly Dantian is cultivated and steps and generally legs are growing from Dantian and this is like power skill. You can do something, you can achieve something, not really what exactly, but it doesn't matter. So you can do something, you can achieve something. Uh, and it does work out the heart, but it does it like statically in terms of the Dantian moves and the heart just statically lives. I don't know, just static. The heart is static, so it's not jumping, it's not like going insane, but it's not doing much as well. So it's like just calmly observing the reality, guiding throughout the life. Yeah, all that is important, but uh, if there is some pain in the heart, it doesn't get revealed, it doesn't get resolved. If there is the joy in the heart, it also going out, etc., etc. So, like the dynamic work with the heart, dynamic work. I mean, what do I mean by saying dynamic work? It's like when you actively doing something with the heart. So, like the first exercise, yeah, it's not about pull the hands up and down and left and right. It's not about the hands, the shoulders, the tension in the head. Not even about the dantian and doing all this stuff within inside. It's not about that. Uh, the initial form in this form says, say, just, just talk about this, is about to involve the heart's dynamics, inner dynamics, where it just goes to the outer world and then it goes back to inner world. Again, it just goes out to outer world, then goes towards the inner world. And like my teacher used to say, sometimes you need to open the heart to other people to share something, to give something. Sometimes you need to close the heart and hit someone's face because there is no other way to deal with that kind of situation. It might be, well, if your heart is not, if you are not saint, if you are not Buddha, if you are not Lao Tzu, then yeah, sometimes hitting the face might be um, this is the only solution. But the idea is that, like apart from the static workout of the heart, there is also a dynamic one when you like when every single move, every motion grows from heart and gets applied to the outer world. So there is such a thing as heaven, earth, and human being, and respectively the upper dantian, which is in the head, so-called third eye, sometimes when I refer as the third eye. So the top hat is connected to heaven. So this is the way how the God or other powers from heaven guide human beings throughout the life. Another concept is the earth, ground. This is what gives us the power to follow that guidance from above and to actually implement in our lives our goals. To fulfill our goals, we need some power to make it possible. Hence, the ground and the power that it gives comes. But what is underestimated is this human being part, and the heart center is responsible for this. And it's not only about balancing between the heaven and earth. Um, it's actually a creative, shining power. Maybe not power is not the good word. Uh, Creative, shining something that brings sense to the entire being, to the entire universe, to whatever, everything like that is happening around it. Heart gives sense to it because without the heart, you don't particularly need the world. It's like in Fifth Element when uh, Mila Jovovich is asking Bruce Willis like, "Why should we save this world?" And he says, "Because of love." So there is no love in the world. Don't particularly have reason to save the world. So that's the classics that probably everyone knows. And uh, Chinese metaphysics did come up with these ideas and principles like thousands of years ago already. So this has been known for a long time. And if we're not talking about the world and the stuff, but if we're talking about just the single human being, like the life goal of a single human being might vary a lot. And despite the fact that heart on its own just helps to realize that and find the only possible and the best ever way to uh, come up with something that helps resolving our life issues to fulfill our life goals. That's one thing. But apart from that, just just fulfilling the goals of the life. Yeah, that's good. That's cool. It helps you not to reborn in this life like 10 times less reborns, 10 times less next lives. Maybe fulfilling the goals nicely in this one. All that is cool. All that is something that I personally really value a lot and chasing that at some point. Yeah, but that's not the major thing. That's not the main goal because all that doesn't particularly give you an idea why. Like say you become Buddha, you don't know, you no longer need to reborn in this world, but why? So you reach the calm, you reach the enlightened state of mind. Say, I'm not the guy. Let's say you are the guy who has done that. So the question why is arising, and the matter of being skillful, and the matter of being um, full of love, joy, whatever brings to our lives. Um, that's the matter of inner sense behind us all. And I don't know. I just want to give a snapshot of what I came up with recently. So, like based on the situation, like the war in Ukraine, for instance, it shows that whatever skills you had, whatever property you had, whatever material stuff you had, or intellectual stuff you had, or whatever stuff you had, no matter which way. All this can be lost so easily, so quickly. Uh, and yes, it can get restored. Again, you're thinking, why? Do you really need that? If so, then what for? Mostly. If not, then also why? So why? That's the question that can only be answered by one's heart. And I know all this sounds probably like gibberish to you, and I'm not really trying to. Um, I'm not even explaining something. Like in when it comes to walking Shagun, there are some techniques. There is something I can share. There is something I can explain. There is the path I'm walking through, and I can share the pitfalls, what I've been through, how exactly how that works, etc., etc., etc. But with heart, it gets like absolutely subjective and specific to the very own only person, to me in this case, and like my life cannot help you at all because yeah, it would be good if I can resolve my own life myself. That already would be really cool. But like heart is something that is the door, is the mechanism, is the way for a human being to mm, find the inner sense, to answer the inner why questions, all those why questions that may arise within inside us. And like from the perspective of Chinese medicine, maybe. So like we have the heaven, earth, and human being. We also have Shen, which is the spirit. We have Jin, which is the essential power, and we have Qi, which nobody really knows what is that, but it comes from the heart. So when we work out lower center, lower abdomen, and in the Dantian, generally we work out the Jin, which is the essence of life. When we sit still, connect to heaven, we cultivate spirit. All those meditative like practices, like Buddhist Zen sitting, for instance, Zazen, yeah, Zazen in Japanese, Zochen in Chinese. Uh, so Zochen um, cultivates spirit. Uh, say things like Chen Taiji, they cultivate life essence, all this Dantian related stuff. Yeah, but uh, when we focus on heart, this helps cultivating chi, and uh, chi is the manifestation of the natural process, I would say, within the human body. Chi is something that we can sense with our hearts, like if we follow the right way or the wrong way. So if we feel the resistance and things are not working, this means the chi is not flowing. If we feel like joy, everything is great, everything is working, the chi is flowing nicely. So that's the matter of chi. Um, so it's like if you remember the Kung Fu Panda cartoon, there is a nice principle has been shown that Tai Lung, the antagonist, he was trying to get this list with spells how to become like superhuman master, and when Panda took that list, it turned out there was nothing. There was emptiness, and he said, "It's the matter is about yourself. It's within you." So that is the reference to one's heart. This this is teaching us like we um we sorry, just lost the thought. Um, so which is prior? Whether the heart is prior or the strength is prior. So Tai Lung considered the strength to be the prior power that he wanted to obtain and to rule the world by obtaining that kind of power. Many human beings, but basically most human beings, are trying to obtain that exact thing to fit the niche in the life, no matter like high or low, principle is the same. The alternative is not trying to fit the niche in the life and try to realize that uh, this heart is something that is original, which is primary, which is the beginning. And basically, if we think of human body as the car which is driving our soul, let's say to heaven or hell, not because of heaven or hell, but because we may either throughout the life we may either make it better to our, let's call it soul, or we can make it worse. So not worse, but worse. We can make it either better or worse. There is no other way. And if we focus on power, like physical, like lower down yen, trying to obtain skills and whatever disciplines, this is like uh, this may or may not lead our soul, drive our soul with the body, within the body of within the car of our body. It may either drive our soul to the better or not. It may or may not drive our soul to the better. But if we um, more think of if we live the heart, live within the heart, if we live from the heart, if we do from the heart, if we think from the heart, if we do whatever from the heart. In this case, skills and power it becomes secondary, and only in that case we may know exactly for sure how exactly to use the power and what for. And main question is why to ever use that, and if we need to. And that is something that, as a result, it brings calm to the heart, but not a static calm like when we practice the lower dantian, which is also very important for health, especially like lower dantian is more like for health or resolving out problems, whatever. Whoever needs physical or mental activity, that the lower abdomen is the best, your best friend to go with. But you may have everything in life, but you may have no idea why, and this makes life very horrible. I watch lots of K dramas, Korean TV series, various uh, various topics, starting from Grim Reapers, my favorite, yeah, because they show this like afterlife experience quite interestingly, like the result of the life from the perspective of heart. It turns out to be absolutely different from what was valued within the life from the perspective of power. And also some interesting dramas like man and woman relationships. Recently watched one called Lost that was on JTBC channel. Quite an interesting one with a younger guy and older woman, and the way how they helped themselves. They don't didn't particularly have relationships in common sense, but they helped themselves to resolve uh, each other's loneliness. And she was about to commit the suicide, and he was not happy with his life either. And their cooperation helped them too. So she stopped trying to commit the suicide and got back to love job that she had, and he also made a bit better than before. It doesn't matter much. I just want to say that heart is something that, uh, like if we think about the body as the car that drives the soul somewhere, then we may either do better to this soul or we may do worse to this soul. And if we stand on a position of lower dandian and power and skills and desires and things like that, it's not guaranteed that we're going the right way. If we drop that, if we don't care much about that, if we live with the heart, in that case, there are more chances to, first of all, to see the reason why. Seeing the reason why shows the direction where to go. When you know where to go, the proper skills or whatever is needed to fulfill the life path comes to you, and it just helps you to make everything in one single way possible, the best ever one single possible, the only possible truth. And for some reason, uh, the society it's like it's specific to not just to some particular society, but to society overall, regardless of political regime, is that we all are born and raised in a competitive environment, and the wind blows. You probably cannot hear me well. Let's wait a little bit until it comes down. So we all are born and raised in a competitive society. So where does the competitive society come from? It comes from the uh, emphasis on the power on the lower abdomen. Try to be better than your friend. Don't care. Kill everyone. Achieve your goals. That's the underlying philosophy behind all that stuff. So mostly, like the society, the country, whatever country is built, whatever society is built on a principle, then you need to be like in Olympics, better, stronger, faster, etc., etc., etc. So the problem with this approach is that as the end result, we don't live our very own lives. We live the lives that someone has prepared for us, and this brings harm to our souls. And hence, we're reborn in this world over and over again without any chance to stop that. So, all these so-called spiritual practices and teachers, whoever they will teach that you don't particularly need to follow that, and finding your very own way is the only way to escape this hell, essentially. And the heart is the key to that, and the emphasis on the heart and the dynamic work toward the heart is the way how this can be achieved and become in the heart. And as a side effect, regulating the blood pressure as well. It comes as a secondary benefit. So, guys, it gets windy, so I'll probably stop here. Um, I'll try to play around with some sound filters in our Audacity application. Okay, so maybe the sound would be a little bit better than usual, but I don't promise you that. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, cheers.